Hey guys, so another winter tip. I know last year I only had like 3. This time I got quite a bit of them. So what you want to do, especially if you have a rear-wheel drive vehicle or a four-wheel drive vehicle. Now, four-wheel drive uh, is kind of a loose term right now because a lot of Jeeps and stuff are saying four-wheel drive when four-wheel drive used to mean rear-wheel drive biased, which meant it was rear. When you put it in two-wheel drive, it was rear. Now there's a lot of them that are front. So like Jeep has a lot of them that are front wheel drive, and you put it in four wheel drive and it's four wheel drive. That kind of used to be all wheel drive, like part time all wheel drive, but now they started calling it four wheel drive. I don't exactly know why or what the difference is. I used to know. But for instance, this one has four wheel drive. It has two wheel drive, auto, four high, four low, which lucky for me, with my luck, four low and four high do not work. But Auto 4 does. So that's what I use in this thing. But a lot of them don't have Auto 4, but this one, like GM, I think, came out with it. So they had it back in the 2000s. Once their patent ran out, other companies started using it, something similar. So a lot of companies started using something similar. A lot of them have something called Auto 4-wheel drive now, or they have different systems that are the same thing, but they call it something else. But either way, if you have a four-wheel drive vehicle, I would advise, if you have a rear-wheel drive vehicle or a four-wheel drive vehicle that is rear biased, like I said, meaning it's rear-wheel drive when you put it in two-wheel drive, you want to add weight to the back, either over the axle. The best place is over the axle. So with pickup trucks, you can make some boards or something in there and make it so it sits over the axle. You just have to watch it when you hit the brakes. They do like to slide forward and break the boards. I've had that happen. So I just get sandbags. You can use cat litter, but the thing is the cat litter usually comes in like a papery type bag, and if you get it wet, it's going to make all the cat litter clump up. So it's great for weight. The other function for it is if you get stuck, you can open up that bag and pour out the contents under your tires to help with traction. If it's clumped up already from the moisture that got into it, you're going to have a hard time doing that. So I use just sandbags. You can get them at like hardware stores, I think, and Home Depot, Lowe's, stuff like that. Again, no sponsors on my videos. So, but I went to a local mill. They had them. I believe Walmart has them, but they're usually out of them. Every time I went there to get them, they're out of them. So that's why cat litter is a decent alternative. It's an even better alternative if you already have cats, because once wintertime's over, you can just use the litter for your cats. So I would also suggest maybe even ice melt, but be careful with those because a lot of those bags don't seal very well either, just like cat litter. That way you can dump it next to your tire and you can get traction. They also have ramps and stuff. You can get like these little things that you can put underneath your tire to, when you drive, it drives up onto those ramps. So you're not on the snow, you're on the ramp. So it moves you up a few feet, but then you have to make sure you have momentum to keep on going. So I've never used them, but there's a whole bunch of different types of systems that you can do, different designs, whatever works. But I would suggest keeping weight in the back. Like I said, if it's rear-wheel drive biased or 4x4. Sorry, rear-wheel drive or rear-wheel biased for four-wheel drive. So like pickup trucks, like normal pickup trucks like Silverado, F-150, Ram, they're all rear-wheel drive until you put them in four, then the fronts engage. Same with like the older style SUVs like this one, the Trailblazer. The older Trailblazer, the newer one it's front-wheel drive biased. So the thing is with front-wheel drive biased, you can put weight in them in the back, but all it's going to do is hurt your gas mileage until your four-wheel drive kicks in, because you're going to have extra weight in your vehicle. So it's going to be harder to stop a little bit. Depends on how much you put. Every vehicle takes different weights. I've had like 7 or 8 vehicles that I've put weight in. I had a 78 F-150 that took almost 700 pounds. And then I had an 89 Firebird that took 70 pounds. And then I had a 2008 F-150 two-wheel drive that took 140 pounds. And then I had a 2004 F-150 that took 490 pounds or so. So they're all different. You got to kind of like, figure it out yourself. The best way to figure it out is to kind of go out without any weight on a day that you don't have to go anywhere, but just kind of play around in the snow a little bit to see how much traction it gets and all that stuff. If you can't afford snow tires, which, I mean, snow tires are great, especially if you can just get the 2 on the back. You still have to watch your steering wheels, but I mean, the wheels that steer, you still have to watch it because they do slide more. But rear wheel drive will get you going if you have snow tires on them, which I've done a few times, which is fine. Best is to have all 4, but you can get away with just the rears if you have a rear wheel drive vehicle. The thing is with front wheel drives, you do not want to put them on just the fronts, because when you go to stop, the rear wheels will have less traction, and it'll try to come around the side. So your vehicle will try to spin out while you're stopping. So even with stability control and all that stuff, like sometimes it doesn't catch it right away. It can make you lose control. So it's best on front wheel drive vehicles or ones that are front wheel drive biased to have 4 snow tires. And then, so there's a lot of cars, a lot of the newer crossover SUVs, they are front wheel drive biased until they engage the all-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. Like a lot of Jeeps are front-wheel drive biased. Like I believe the Compass, the Patriot, stuff like that. The Gladiator is rear-wheel drive biased. The Wrangler is rear-wheel drive biased. I don't know about the Cherokee or Grand Cherokee. I think they're front. But either way, the front-wheel drive or front biased ones, you don't necessarily want to put weight in them because, like I said, it's worse. It's worse for it every other time except for when 4-wheel drive engages or all-wheel drive engages. So it's not a huge necessity, but it does help when that happens. So vehicles like, for instance, like the Equinox, the newer Trailblazer is front-wheel drive, or you can get the all-wheel drive version. Some of them are full-time all-wheel drive, like I believe Subaru is. At least it used to be. Those ones, I guess you probably could put weight in them, but they're still cars for the most part, so you can't put a whole lot. That'll hurt your gas mileage pretty good, but it's great for rear-wheel drive trucks, especially that are meant to hold the weight, that have the payload capacity and everything. So, but if you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. I really appreciate you guys watching, and please leave a like and subscribe if you would like. And thanks for watching.